Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Where did I put? I swear to God, I had a lighter. I know I did. There it is. Still got the goddess lighter here. Man. Just the level of violation that high priestesses have to deal with warlocks, oath breakers, ones that come in and claim that they know magic and that they're so enlightened, but then it turns out that they are just the most toxic masculine assholes on the planet. I mean, I expected going through my text messages. I did. I expected that. And I played into it. I knew it was coming because it was just the level of delusion when you're breaking up with somebody who refuses to, it can't possibly be anything to do with that. It just, the words that come out of your mouth that you're explaining to them why this is happening will never reach them. It'll never reach them. Communication means nothing without understanding. If the other person can't understand what you're saying, they're never going to get it. They're just not going to. They're never going to get it. And when vibrations, when frequencies start to change, and when one person chooses to change, if the other person just doesn't want to change, and their whole blockage is, don't change. I shouldn't have to change. I shouldn't have to change. I shouldn't have to change to make you love me. Nobody said you had to change to make you love, for me to love you. Give me 1 second, y'all. Man, I tell you what, they're so funny. I got a couple of the kids here today, and they'll be quiet until I say I'm coming in here to do something. As soon as an adult's busy, let's get into shit. Let's see how this goes. I don't have a whole lot of time to be messing around with this today, but no, for real. It was one thing to go through my messages. It was another thing to go through my coven members. I don't like calling them clients. They do pay for readings, and they do pay for spell work or help with spell work and mentoring with spell work and things of that nature sometimes. But for the most part, they're just coven members, and it's a lot of discussions on magic and energy and things of that nature, right? It was one thing to go through all that. It's another thing to go through all that wasted and not really understanding what you're reading because you're already in a mindset of being upset. And then there's another level of going behind my back and talking to somebody who is supposed to have been my friend and telling them specific details that you read and misinterpreted, twisted it, and then you go and you spew that venom at this person. Now she pops up on a damn collective all signs reading, and she starts talking about personal information from my coven members on fucking YouTube. Now, it don't matter that I don't have a lot of subscribers and things like that. I know who does follow me, and there's some people who don't need to know all that. Second of all, it's just it's a violation. There's no other way around it. You violated not only my trust, you violated my coven's trust. And you don't think none of that's coming back. I don't need to cast against you. I don't even need to shield against you. You know what I can do? I can take the hits. Whatever you send at me, what? I don't care. Crash my car, drain my bank account. I'm still going to be fine. I'm still gonna be me. That shit don't have, that's 3D. Anything with 3D is totally recoverable. Yes, anything. Yes, anything. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Alright, so let's just go through it. We're just going to do, I don't know, we're going to do what we're going to do. You think you got problems? What are you supposed to do if you're a romantically depressed robot? Why do you want to marry me? So I can kiss you anytime I want. Sometimes the only payoff for having any faith is when it's tested again and again every day. Everything is backwards now. Like out there is the true world and in here is the dream. I'll tell you a secret that they don't teach you in your temples. The gods envy us. They envy us because we are mortal. Because at any moment can be our last. Everything is more beautiful because we are doomed. You will never be lovelier than you are right now. And we will never be here again. When the debate is over, slander becomes the tool of the loser. Y'all, nobody even knew, not even my family knew that I was breaking up with Rob. I didn't tell anybody. I did talk to a couple of my friends. Maybe 2 or 3 people in my entire existence knew what was actually going on with me. You have any idea how incredibly lonely that is? Oh, you should never talk bad about your partner. Fuck you. You know who says that? Gaslighting narcissists don't want you to know. Don't want anybody else to know what's going on behind your closed doors. If you are dealing with somebody that is suffering from addictions, toxic behaviors, abuse, for the love of God, talk to somebody. Anybody. No, you are allowed to tell people when you are having to deal with things that are ridiculous. You're allowed to tell people. You're allowed to talk about it. You're allowed to crack jokes and make fun of them if it makes you feel better. That's a default setting for some people. What, a sense of humor? That's why comedians are considered some of the most depressed people on the planet. That's why Robin Williams committed suicide, right? You know, and people get, it's just, there's a lot going on the 3D, 4D, 5D for a lot of people right now. But some people, instead of dealing with their own personal 3D, 4D, 5D work, what they do is they obsessively attach their energy. This is the codependency. This is a codependency on a different type of level, right? They obsessively attach their energy to someone else so that they do not have to focus on their own lives. This is why the Kardashians and reality TV becomes so much fun, right? You'd rather watch the Kardashians, these multi-millionaires living it up, and then find some way to criticize about them and their lives and how they're doing things, right? From your trailer in the country or whatever. I'm not trying to diss nobody or anything like that, right? I have to be happy wherever. My house is not huge and it's a wreck. I'm just an average freaking person, y'all. Not Martha Stewart. No, I don't practice root working or hoodoo or anything like that now. I'm not saying that I never practice dark magic. I don't speak out against hexing because I've read it and it's trendy and the threefold and all that. No, I talk about against hexing because I have hexed in the past and I've paid the price for it. So I explain to y'all when it happens, don't do that shit. I don't say don't cast love spells or affect free will. Why? Because I've been dumb enough to do that shit. Only thing is, I was dumb enough to do it as a teenager and wreak chaos in the teen world, and then by the time I was older, I was smart enough not to do it. I end up spending a lot of my time actually talking to grown people about the ill effects of hexing and love spells and things of that nature affecting free will. It blows my mind, but, you know, I guess I understand, you know, if you didn't go through it then. It's like a lot of people for their dark night of the soul is like a second puberty. It is. It's almost like dealing with children again. It's crazy. But yeah. What I consider my client list, what I consider my coven list, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it, right? The people that I work with, the people that pay me for services, like, and the services that I offer are metaphysical advice, tarot readings. I can either cast spells for people, or I help them design something based on what they have and their beliefs that they can cast themselves. Sometimes I make items and mail them to people for their things, special candles and things of that nature, right? And there's a lot that goes into it. Each individual person is somebody that I spend time getting to know physically. Usually it starts out with a tarot reading, then it goes to other things. But yeah, I spend a lot of time reading and learning the people, and the advice that I give to people is based specifically on their beliefs, their needs, and what my spirit guides say they are capable of handling and discerning. So now, I did give somebody who paid for some darker magic. I didn't cast it. They wanted just the knowledge of how to do it. I did give them that, but I did give them that knowing that I understood where they were on their journey, that they would not want to pay the price for it. So now to come drunk, stumbling onto my client list and then make assumptions on the advice and things that I'm doing, you know. No. You don't want to give up your toxic habits. You do not get to go digging through, trying to find something, and then sharing that information with other people who are not in the headspace to handle it. I never discussed dark magic with Rob because I know he can't handle that. He's not there. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. He ain't a witch, he's a warlock. He lies, and he lies mostly to himself. And I don't care about putting people on blast, quite honestly. Not if you're going to fucking put me on blast. Not if you're going to violate my coven and then share that information with a psycho stalker, someone that you didn't like, you didn't want me talking to, and then have that person come on here and try to expose that shit on a public fucking platform. Just out of your minds out there. Alright. Enough of me, baby dolls. Let's see what we got. Alright. We have the Ten of Pentacles here, right? We have the Ten of Pentacles, but we got the King of Pentacles reversed. The King of Pentacles is the toxic, controlling freak, right? This is the person who wants to be in full control of their 3D. They don't want anybody else to have any say about their 3D. This is the ultimate narcissist. This is the love bomber. This is the person who has all the capabilities and everything to do everything that you need them to do, but they will only do it when they think you're about to walk out the door. That is this toxic joker, right? And this has to come to an end. We got the Four of Pentacles here, which is a wanting to build solid foundations, right? But you got the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So there's definitely some just Yeah, on the 3D, it just doesn't look very good. It looks like there's a wanting to reach the 10 of Pentacles, but there's just a lot of, yeah, toxic energy and mindset in the way. Once again, 3D is, like I said, the superficial level of it all, right? That is what people are observing. On the 4D, what's on people's mind, there's definitely a lack of strength here, a lack of trying to... I could grab the tiger by the tail with the strength card reversed all the time, right? Right. Bad decision donut card, right? Yep. Right. So the bad decision donut card, let's make this a funny thought instead, right? It was a joke, and it says, sometimes the universe doesn't give you what you want, kind of like I can't give my dog my chocolate chip. It's a bad decision bagel. I can't give my dog my chocolate chip bagel because my dog doesn't know that the bagel has chocolate in it and the chocolate is bad for it. You know, it just knows it can't have something that it really wants. And then at the bottom it goes, here I am over in the corner chewing on my bad decision bagel. Someone's still just chewing on their bad decisions. Still not grabbing the tiger by the tail, taking control of their vices. That's why they can't get out of the 5 of Pentacles. They feel left out of the cold, broke, or they feel like they are heading in that direction, right? There's a lot of focus on wanting to celebrate, but there's just, you can't pour from an empty cup. See, this is on the 4D. This is a wanting to spread love and things like that, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. The Queen of Pentacles up here is reversed, right? And I'm definitely picking up that the 3D line was more about this toxic reversed King of Pentacles, right? Not getting control of this, feeling left out in the cold, not being able to get to that 10 of Pentacles. All the focus is on celebrating, right? But you got nothing to give because your cup is empty. Your cup is empty. Why? Because you're dependent on the Queen of Pentacles to fill your cup, and she's not filling it anymore. She's not filling it anymore. Right? What's the 5D have to say? What does the 5D have to say for this King, reverse King of Pentacles? What? The 5D says the 3 of Swords reversed, right? It's time to come out of third-party situations. We got a High Priestess here. Right? The High Priestess seizes into her own power. She stands firmly on her own. Right? She listens to her intuition. She leans on her knowledge, and she conjures and creates on her own. Solitary practitioner, right? Solitary practitioner, her own High Priestess. We also got the Hierophant here. The Hierophant. No, right. Right? Yeah, the Hierophant. The Hierophant believes in traditions and beliefs. Right? So you got two people. You got one who leans a lot on mystery and intuition and knowledge in that area. You have the Hierophant. You got Hoggle here. Hoggle is very serious about his duties on taking care of the labyrinth. It's a person based more on tradition and routine. We got the Star reversed here. So you got the 3 of Swords reversed, which means there is a three third party situation. You got these two characters here. You got a reversed Star. The reverse Star card for me is just, it's not putting in all the calculations. There's not, all the calculations still aren't being put in. So there's a want to come out of a third party situation. You got a High Priest, you got the Hermit, you got the calculations not being put in. There's not a judgment being made. And there's definitely judgments that need to be made. What? I love this card. What? One always tells the truth and one always lies. I'm going to go out on a limb here too. You got the Hierophant. The Hierophant is what? The Hierophant is the Hermit, isn't it? So what? You got Virgo. We got Virgo. We got the High Priestess. I don't think the High Priestess is on here. High Priestess doesn't have a card. She's just a Divine Feminine. And you got the Star, which is an Aquarius reversed. And we got the Judgment here. Who's Judgment? Libra, right? Yep. In this deck, this is all about choosing the right door. And I love the story behind this one too, because Sarah has to choose, right? One door always tells the truth, one always lies. And she has to figure it out. And she thinks she's so smart, and she figures it out. And it's getting easier and easier and easier all the time. And now she steps through the door, and she does end up in the oubliette, but that was not certain death, was it? Was it certain death? She got caught by the helping hands. What would happen if she chose to go up instead of down? What was behind the other door? You never know these things. But had she not made a decision, she still would just be standing there in front of that door. I have no idea. We need something else with this. I get a sense, though, I really, really do. I get a sense that the biggest thing is y'all don't understand when it says, when I'm saying there's two doors and you make a decision, immediately a lot of people go, oh, two people. What if the calculation you're not putting in is the door that you're supposed to be picking has nothing to do with relationships? What if you're so focused on your codependent nature that you're constantly calculating your next partner? You're not calculating your next steps in life. You're not calculating what door you're walking through. You're not calculating what you're doing. You're constantly in a co-creation. Now, that is one thing that I will say that is independent of the High Priestess and the Hermit. What? They are independent people. They are not codependent. They don't need someone else to navigate them. Right? So maybe it's not so much about choosing between two people, it's choosing between two separate directions you need to go in. And I will bring it back up again, because this is always a thing. What train are you on? You on the love train or the fear train? What are you doing right now? There's definitely an ebb and flow of energy here. We got ebb and flow, and we got the child that you are meant to be. Now, the child you are meant to be is a card that just tells you about who were you. Who were you genuinely, like when you were a child? And it's funny because I've been thinking about the 90s a lot lately and things of that nature because, yeah, just the kids were singing Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys songs while we were riding around in the truck the other day, and just had me giggling and thinking about it. And it was one little boy singing a Backstreet Boys song, and he kind of gave me a little flashback, and I remembered that, I can remember my next door neighbors. We had these neighbors growing up at my grandma's house every summer. And one was almost exactly my sister's age. And one neighbor literally was born the day before me. Right? And there were two little boys. And they had one little sister. She was a couple years younger than us. And we were always playing together. And we used to, reenact scenes from Grease. Dancing and singing the dance routines, the Backstreet Boys, the Spice Girls, all that, right? And those are grown men now. Those are grown men now that I cannot imagine reenacting a scene from Grease, right? But that energy, that fun, all that is still within them. You know, like there could be somebody who hasn't danced in forever. Oh, I could tell you, I can remember that kid breakdancing at dances and stuff like that. I wonder when the last time he did that was. It's just things of that nature. It's like, who were you before the world beat you down, before the world jaded you, before people criticized you and body shamed you and made you feel bad about yourself? Who were you? Who were you before people told you who you were supposed to be? Right? A lot of this reprogramming goes back to, yeah, you have to go back and try to figure out. The programming is very hard to break. And it goes through a lot of work. And that's where that ebb and flow comes in. Because especially for divine feminines that go through this stuff. And I would say you can lean on masculine energy, and you can be as masculine and feminine as you want. You still got hormones. You are still subject to moon tides, and all that. You are still in that energy. There is an ebb and flow of the energy. When you feel true meditation is not, I have a problem and I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to obsessively think about this problem and nothing but this problem, push any other thought out of my mind but this problem for 30 minutes and I'm going to be meditating on the problem. No. No, 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 no. True meditation has no set focus. It's about clearing your mind of all thoughts. And it's not about forcing all thoughts out of your mind and forcing yourself not to think. It's an ebb and flow. It's you clear your mind and you breathe. A lot of people, me including, love to envision sitting on a beach. When you breathe in, envision the waves coming in. When you roll out, envision them going out. I'll even go as far as to say you can envision yourself standing with your feet on the shore. And as the water rolls in over your feet and rolls out, feel that energy grounding you deeper and deeper, your feet deeper and deeper into the earth, right? And grounding down. And now when a thought comes in, you don't cling to it. Even if you do for a second, you don't beat yourself up about it, okay? It's all about releasing, right? So the thought comes in, and for a moment you're going to try to go, where did that thought come from? And you're going to try to go off on a rabbit hole of where did that thought come from. Don't do that. Let it go. Breathe. Go back. Oh, where am I in my breathing? Where am I in breathing? Where are my feet? Where am I sitting? How's my posture? Am I grounded? Am I straight? Am I crowned back into your body? Recenter yourself. Focus back on the breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. All right? Ebb and flow. Heavy emotions and waves will hit you during these waves. And it's just a matter of breathing in and letting it go. And I say this too, the breath is the doorway between physical reality and spiritual reality. So breathe through it, ebb and flow. And try to put it in a perspective of fun. Like if you feel like you're an empath and you're channeling other people's energy, don't beat yourself up for not being able to help or anything else like that, or think about how wondrous it is that you do. And then in shifting that connectional energy, right? So if you're connected to somebody and you're feeling the sad energy, and you shift your thought process of how scary and annoying and sad it is that, you know, you're attached to these horrible people. If you think about how wondrous and amazing it would have been if you guys were children and you had figured out these abilities. You can tap into that person's inner child, and you can change the frequency from sad to a little bit happier and break that chain. It is your job, when you understand that your gifts and abilities are coming into play, to learn how to work them yourself. You need to learn how to control them. People are like, it's a blessing and a curse. It's only a curse if you never take the time to learn how to use them. It becomes a curse when you have these abilities as a child and someone suppresses them on you or teaches you to suppress them, and then you spend your whole life hiding them and burying them and not dealing with them. Then it becomes a curse. It's a blessing. Elsa from Frozen is the perfect example of it. What? Fear of your own gift turns your gift into a curse, causes it to cause more chaos than it needs to. Right. Let's get a story time in the collective real quick. Right, conceal, don't feel. No. Feel. Earth is a school, and the school is here to teach you how to deal with mortality and emotions. Mortality and emotions. Right? That's what that card in the beginning was talking about, right? The God's envious because we are immortal. That's why you came here. It's what you came here for. What? Endless beings that never have to face mortality. Alright, so we got two cards here. We got 32 and 24. We got the Moon card. Came out. This Cinderella's carriage. That 8 of Cups there, 8 of Hearts. We've got the 24, we got the Heart, and the Jack of Hearts. All right. Read the Moon card first because it came out first. $32, 8 of Hearts. Recurring events, cycles, awards, public acclaim. Here is the Moon spotlighting Cinderella's coach in the Little Slipper story. Cinderella has seen more than... Cinderella has been seen more than once by the prince to make a deep impression. When you see this card, remember that the public acclaim may be close at hand. Like Cinderella, you may be noticed. Of course, she was noticed for her beauty. Your awards may come from other things. The moon shines on cycles as well. Stick to the plan and reap the applause. If you are looking for this card in the terms of a business venture, then promotion is a necessity. Her fairy godmother had to dress Cinderella up so that she would be noticed. Pay attention also to things that happen more than once. This could be the moon pointing to something important that you need to know. What lies near the moon may be things that deserve praise from you. Don't overlook the power of the moon in showing you where you can improve yourself so that you can garner more attention. I guess that's a attention-seeking card. That's what I was like. Cinderella went to the ball as a gold. She was straight up. Sorry, this is a gold-digging shit. All right, well, let's get into it. 24, the Heart, Jack of Hearts, right? Love, passion, and attraction. In the Bulgarian story of Cinderella, a.k.a. Pepe, whatever. How weird that they're both Cinderella. The handsome prince sees a lovely young woman in a beautiful dress in a church. Not knowing she is Cinderella, a mistreated stepdaughter, he is fascinated by her. He sees her 3 times and then goes looking for her with her lost shoe. The attraction between the two was instant, but the connection didn't come so easily. Luckily for you, when the heart shows up, a lover may be close at hand, especially if a card from another person is close. It can also point the way towards something you are passionate about, looking for cards nearby to show you whom or what has your attention. Our Cinderella has her happily ever after because her prince didn't give up. You must seek your own love by leaving your heart's door open. This card says your partner can't be that far away, so keep your eyes open and your heart as well. Remember that you can also find passion in doing things that fulfill you. I mean, I'm sorry, but what are the odds? What are the odds? What are the odds? I just love how in like the original Cinderella, the ugly stepsisters chop their feet off to fit into the slipper because they just can't fit into Cinderella's shoes. I love how the birds fly out of the mom's tree and peck out the stepmother's eyes. Very, very satisfying story. See, I don't like scary movies and stuff like that, but I really, really like the original Grimm's Fairy Tales and Hans Christian Andersen tales. There was one that I read the other day that was another twisted version of Cinderella. All right, 3 cards apiece based on our Cinderella story here. Like how one card focuses on Cinderella, the other card focused on the prince's perspective. All right. Aries. Aries, we got the 10 of Cups, we got the King of Poles, and we've got the Eight of Swords. All right, Aries, I see that you see a lot of potential here. I see a shit ton of potential here. You got the King of Fire, King of Poles right here. Love him in this deck. This is a very steadfast person in this deck, right? He's a protector. He's passionate, right? I do got the Eight of Swords right here. I do sense that there is some entrapment things around you, kind of like the Cinderella story. There's a lot of details and things to be worked around. I do feel like a lot of it is self-imprisonment, right? The Eight of Swords is always about, it's usually the woman in the blindfolds with the swords around her, right? It's just a matter of taking the blindfolds off and the restraints. But I always say with that card as well that sometimes when a person is bound and trapped, right, it's almost like in the movies where like the kidnapped person breaks free of their bonds, but they don't let the kidnapper know that they've broken free with their bonds because they're waiting for an ideal moment. All right. Taurus. Whoo! Taurus, I got the Lovers, man. Whatever you got going on is an extremely intense connection. Nine of Cups. Stay in your independent energies for sure. All right, so you have a chance here with this. The Dancers is the Lovers card. You have a chance here with the Lovers card of finding a very powerful, intense connection, but you both need to be able to maintain and stay in this Nine of Cups energy that is attracting y'all either to each other or back to each other, right? There is a chance here to either create a new cycle or repeat the toxic one, so be mindful of the decisions that you're making right now. Gemini, we get the Six of Junk reversed, the Six of Pentacles reversed. Ace of Feathers, Three of Wands reversed. All right, so you are definitely distracted right now from something important. And I'm going to just go out and say that, put this out on what I'm getting with the Cinderella story and everything else like that. I have a feeling in the Cinderella story, if Cinderella had just kicked off, didn't do her chores, decided to be a little typical teenager and be all petty and shit and whine and cry and not do anything, do you think the mice would have helped her make a dress? Do you think the fairy godmother would have come and helped her, right? I have a sense that there's a lot of immature thoughts going on right now. I have a feeling that you're more obsessed with the fairy tale of Cinderella than you are with your own physical surroundings around you, right? The Three of Wands reversed. You're not using your intuition, you're not preparing, and you're not taking any physical steps. You're just twirling around kind of in thoughts, all right? So be mindful of that, because that's a codependent type energy. Don't let people come into your life that completely distract you from your goals, right? You need to really focus back down. And yeah, it's time to start putting your foresight, your intuition, and physical action towards doing things, right? It's time to evolve these thoughts. Get a little bit more realistic with it. Cancer. Cancer, I got the King of Pots reversed, the King of Cups reversed. This is someone... I'm getting a sense this is someone who doesn't receive very well, right? They're not a good receiver. Because in this deck, the King of Cups is... He's actually a trash can. But it's his job. That's what he does. He cleans up the trash. That's... I guess his love language, I guess you could say. That's a nice way of putting it, right? Reverse, though, it's the opposite. This person just spews trash all over the place instead of receiving it, right? I got the King of Junk here as well, which is the King of Pentacles energy, right? I'm going to read this one because they used the worm, and I'm wondering why they picked the worm, see? The first time I've seen this one. My bad, y'all. You're just going to have to get used to me while I deal with my new deck. But I do like to, I say this all the time, I like to know why the artist chose the imagery that they did, because then it helps me read the deck later on. Junk. Or junk. I love how Pentacles are junk. It just tickles me pink. You have no idea. All right. The King of Junk. The King of Junk is a salt of the earth provider who isn't afraid to get his hands dirty and work hard for what he wants. Stable, warm, welcoming. He's created material abundance and takes pride in his comfortable home and all the fruits of his labor. Okay. Well, I guess in this deck, the King of Junk, he's very happy living in the labyrinth and where he is and everything else, and the knowledge that he's obtained in that area, and he's happy where he is. There's definitely a decision here that you need to be made. You got somebody who's happy and settled in the labyrinth in their place. Come on in, meet the missus. Right? Don't go that way. Go the other way. Likes to give direction, likes to be helpful. Hello. You know, this person kind of spews trash. I get a sense that this person spews trash and negative energy. I just got a sense you need to choose between these two. Right? I know I said the doorway thing is not always about people and everything else like that, but in your case, you got two people here. You got two people, or you got two senses of energies that you need to choose between. If this is not two people you're choosing between, this is two energies within your own mind. What? Are you stable, happy in the labyrinth? Are you happy where you are? Or are you spewing trash everywhere? Because if you're spewing trash everywhere, you need to make a decision on where to go. Leo. Leo, you could be dealing with an Aries. I got the Emperor here. I love it in this deck. The Emperor is the dad. What? He's just trying to deal with all these people. What? I was just trying to take my wife out because she's been bitching because she just had a baby and she's, you know, everything else. I'm trying to take my wife out on a nice night, and I thought my teenage daughter would babysit for me and it would all be cool, and this is just not what's happening. Everybody's yelling. Why is everybody crying all the time? I don't know why I'm downloading all that while I'm looking at this. But the Emperor is also in control, right? He understands how everybody works and operates, and he's the one who knows how to talk to everybody. Right? Everybody's crying, but he's not crying. He's just like, I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know why you guys are all like stressing the hell out. I'm just going to sit over here on my chair and wait until it's time to go. Yeah, the Seven of Swords reversed. I do see that there's definitely a lot of, I don't want to say lies and deceits, but a lot of truths coming out, a lot of truths about, I get a sense of like learning people, like when you hit, like there's this saying that it's like, people can only maintain a certain energy for about 3 months, and then they have to start showing their real colors. Right? I do see that whatever this is, though, it is a Two of Cups connection. It is a strong soul connection that you have going on here. It's just a matter of, yeah, getting through the second getting to know you phase is what I feel is going on for you. Virgo. Right? Leo, Virgo. Holy cow, Virgo. Oh, what total spots? Really? Start the world. I'm so confused. Oh. I'm a bit of a spaz. Anyway, I'm sorry. Poof. Virgo, you got the Fool. You got the Fool. I like the Fool in this deck because it's Sarah, right? It's a choice. Yeah, she's a bit of a fool, a bit of a spaz, but she needs to make a decision, right? What? Time is ticking. He's given her a time limit to get Toby back, right? Not moving is a no decision is a decision at this point, too. What? You're either going to go try to get your brother back or you're not, right? You got the Queen of Poles here, right? Queen of Fire energy here, and you have the Hermit energy here. Now, in the Hermit card, I remember reading in this deck, now that I see the card, I'm sorry, I know I mixed them up before, new deck. He says to Sarah, sometimes the way forward is also the way back. And it was a warning on repeating the same mistakes. I'm going to read it for you, because I feel you need it. All right, Virgo, so you got Sarah. The Fool represents someone about to take their first steps into a life-changing adventure. Sarah, like the Fool, is trusting and a little naive, and she starts out on her quest through the Goblin King's labyrinth to save her baby brother. You are about to embark on a very important journey, no matter what sort of tricks and strange characters and unexpected challenges you may encounter along the way. Staying calm, kind, and open-minded will see you to your goal. Like I said, every decision she made, good, bad, or otherwise, led her exactly where she was meant to be. Give you the Queen of Fire for this deck. The Queen of Pole represents someone as an expressive or enterprising as the Goblin Gertie, who is known for motivating others with inspiring theories and philosophies. The Queen of Poles enlivens any room she walks into with her illuminating discourse and creative, stimulating ideas. I feel like you're dealing with a lot of people, and you got a lot that you got going on here. Let me get you the Hermit. All right. The Hermit, like the Wise Man, is a solitary, introverted figure who spends a significant amount of time reflecting deeply on life. Are you feeling confused, overwhelmed, or a little lost in the labyrinth? Just as the Wise Man says, sometimes the way forward is also the way back. Taking action for action's sake can lead to a burnout and frustration. Pause and gather your thoughts. Clarity that follows will help reveal a more effective way to make progress. All right, I got spuddling. Spuddling is where you're ineffectively spinning your wheels, right? You're doing a lot, but you're not really accomplishing a lot, right? There's definitely time running out and a needing to make a leap. There's definitely a shit ton of crazy ideas and someone who is inspiring a lot of ideas. But there is also a warning of actions for action's sake will just leave you overwhelmed and overburdened. Right? So there's definitely a balancing out that's going on here. There's definitely a lot of energy towards you right here. I also get this sense of taking your time when you're making discernments. I mean, just think about it. I said it before with one of the other signs. What if Sarah would have chose up when she went through the doorway, the judgment doorway, and she fell and she ended up in the oubliette? I mean, she met Hoggle and he got her through to the castle, so everything worked out how it was supposed to. But imagine if she would have asked the worm at the very beginning. Don't go that way. Never go that way. Imagine how different the whole story would have been if she would have went, what's that way? And he went, that'll take you straight to the castle. But would she have learned anything from her adventure if she had gone straight to the castle? Oh man, a lot of thinking for you there. Don't stress though, Virgo. Just leave you on that. You'll be alright. Libra. I got the Hangman reversed. Time to cut Ludo down, right? Time to start casting so much judgment. That's just the edge I'm getting off this, right? I also got the Empress here. Time to take control of your surroundings, your environments, and what you are physically responsible for, and the lives that you are responsible for, right? You also got the Page of Junk, right? This is someone with some bullshit offers. This is the Page of Junk. This is the Page of Pentacles reversed. This is someone who's offering you more than they have to offer and painting a real pretty picture that could distract you. I'm definitely getting a sense of cut Ludo down. Cut Ludo down. He's being beaten up by the world enough. And I got a sense of this Page of Pentacles don't have all the pentacles that he's saying. But in the end, it's not these two that you need to worry about the most. It's you and your surroundings and those things that you are most responsible for that need to be put in the forefront. And I got Princess. Princess who adore you. Scorpio. Oop. I accidentally pulled out 4 cards for you. Yeah. Scorpio. I see a lot of conflict. A lot of conflict. A lot of anxiety. I got a reversed King of Feathers, King of Swords here. This is someone who's becoming toxically defensive. This is someone who's toxically defensive now. And there's a returning of a tower or a refusing of a tower or... yeah. This could be this Knight of Feather energy coming back. Be mindful if you got somebody from your past coming back. Yeah, I just see a lot of, the returning tower, a lot of negative words, something that's causing a lot of anxiety and causing a lot of conflict. You're allowing someone to come in and cause you conflict. You're allowing someone who is having a tower to come in and cause you conflict. Be mindful. Be mindful. You're going to mess up your own happily ever after. Sagittarius, ooh, one always tells the truth and one always lies. You could be dealing with, let me just make sure this is right before I lose my mind. Yeah. You could be dealing with Aquarius, sorry, an Aquarius or a Virgo, I believe. Yeah, no. Aquarius or Taurus. Either way, there's definitely the Judgment card here with the doors, the trying to discern the truth. There is a worry of overthinking when you're doing this type of thing. The Judgment card I always found too is it's a matter with the regular deck. It's a matter of who deserves praise and who doesn't deserve praise, who deserves your attention and who doesn't deserve your attention. In this case, it's definitely the 2 doorways. One always tells the truth. One always lies. You need to discern who's telling the truth and who is lying to discern what doorway to walk through. One doorway is straight to the castle. One doorway is to certain death, right? Make sure that you're putting in all your calculations. I definitely get this strong sense of the Hierophant here. Again, you got Hoggle. And I will say, with all this going on, Hoggle was smart enough to assume that Sarah would end up in the oubliette. And now I've said this before, right? So the doorways is one certain death, one leads straight to the castle. Sarah chose down instead of up. There was a doorway out of the oubliette. So that was not certain death. Certain death would have been the other door. What? You would have fallen in what? The bog of eternal sin. Something that kills you instantly. Certain death. Certain death. Not uncertain death, right? He was smart enough to discern what door someone else was going to go through so that he would be in the right spot at the right time. Damn, that's specific. All right. Capricorn. Capricorn, I got a Page of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the 5 of Swords. I definitely got someone who has probably been a little immature in the way that they have expressed themselves. They might have come off as too flirty, too perverted. That tends to happen. High Priestess, this is someone, I've talked about this in the whole witches community and things like that. This is someone who's really standing firm within their power right now and seizing on their own power and working on creating their own reality without too much of a co-creation. I feel like this person has caused some conflicts for you here with the Five of Swords. I do feel like this was a necessary conflict that you had to have with this person in order to reach the next step of whatever type of relationship that you're going through with this person specifically, right? Whoever you're dealing with most right now. Whoever came to mind while you were here, right? Whatever this conflict was, I get like, one battle, not the war, right? It's just one battle, but it's a way, it's an important one where everybody, you can either take away what you learned from this battle, or you can be bitter about it. Whoever holds the grudge, it's up to you. Whoever holds the grudge is a loser, whether you won or lost. Some people are mad even when they win, because they lost you in the turn. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of how you put that battle into perspective on whether or not you can heal these things or not. Aquarius. Oh boy, Billy's up. All right, I've got the Knight of Junk here. Right, I want to read this one because the Knight of Junk is being crushed by boulders. And I just like to get their interpretation of it. The Queen of Feathers is next. You also got the Queen of Feathers, which is the Queen of Swords. And you got the Queen of Pots, which is the Queen of Cups. So a lot of Queen energy going on here. Don't mind the noise. You know what? I can pause it. Give me 1 second. Alright. My bad, y'all. I'm sure that was only 2 seconds for y'all. It was a little bit longer for me. Alright. Where were we? Aquarius, Knight of Junk. Hardworking, helpful, and dependable. The Knight of Junk is always there when you need him. Just like Ludo's rocks. Okay. So it's not the Knight of Junk that's being... Aw, Ludo is the Knight of Junk. This tarot card advises you to work diligently and pay attention to the details. Others are counting on you. Stay on top of your responsibilities and you will be rewarded for your efforts. I love this. So this is about how Ludo calls upon his secret gifts and saves everybody in the end, right? Knight of Junks. But paying attention to when you are needed. He never abuses them. He only calls them when it's absolutely needed. You have a Queen of Feathers here, Aquarius. And the Queen of Feathers is the intelligent, sensible, well-respected figure who does things in her own way. She uses logic and reasons to come up with her own conclusions and isn't easily influenced by others. The Queen of Feathers has the confidence to stay true to herself even in the face of conflicts and criticism. Or hoggle. The Queen of Feathers is not afraid to bite hoggle. Alright. And then you got the Queen of Pots here. I just like to do this because they actually gave characters to the pot, to the cards. The Queen of Pots is a nurturing figure who enjoys taking care of others, whether she is offering insightful advice or facilitating diplomatic solutions to difficult dilemmas, or concocting feasts for a horde of hungry goblins. The Queen of Pots is a well-liked caretaker who is known for her compassion and creativity. Alright, I don't know why, but I just get the vibe that I feel like this is like kind of like your team here, Aquarius, or this is definitely the energies that you're dealing with, but there is definitely, I get a strong sense of like, yeah, calling your rocks. Where are your rocks? Do you have any rocks? What's going on with your rocks, Aquarius? Something about your rocks need to put your Knight of Pentacles here. If you're a masculine, I apologize for all that. If you're a feminine, I don't know what, your chesticles. I feel like this is definitely an energy that you need to focus on. There's definitely focusing on. I get a strong sense of outside advice coming in. Be prepared to find yourself in a hard situation with people and you will have to listen to others, right? One person's not going to be afraid to tell you about yourself. The other person is more of an overall nurturing energy, right? But it is your job. I just get a masculine energy. I'm sorry. It's the masculine's energy to decipher who needs protecting and who needs to be. Who are you fighting and who are you protecting? And are you genuinely using your gifts? And are you brave enough? Do you have the rocks to use your gifts? Pisces. Pisces, I have a 7 of Cups, a 3 of Swords, or feathers, and a 10 of poles or 10 of rods. All right, I got the 7 of Cups. There is a lot of illusion around you right now. There's a lot of illusion. This 3 of Swords is, I'm not necessarily getting a third-party situation. I know this is all like this, right? This is not necessarily a third-party situation. Third-party situation in Cinderella would be the stepmom and the stepsisters getting in the way of the relationship. That's the third party, right? The third party would be the dad telling the prince that he can't possibly want to marry Cinderella because she's whatever, right? That's the third party situation energy that I'm getting. I'm getting an energy that, one, somebody's painting illusions, right? There's illusions being painted. I don't think it might necessarily be another lover. There's definitely someone who's offering things, offering options, offering things that sound really good, that's putting you in a torn place. It's pulling your heart in 2 separate directions. I sense that the reason you can't see clearly, decide which way you want to go right now, is because you just got too many burdens. It's too much. It's too much. You're overburdened. You need to put some stuff down and reorganize your priority list. Alrighty, well that was fun. Sorry that took so long. Sorry I did all that. Apologies. I love y'all so much. I miss you guys, man. I'm trying to come back and do some more. I apologize for the vents, but at the same time, I'm not going to dull my shine for nobody. Being fiery is part of the whole Queen of Fire things. I mean, I keep telling everybody, what? Aries Sun, Leo Rising, Sagittarius Moon. There's Queen of Wands, baby. It's all over here. What? Divine, feminine, fire energy. I cannot help that, right? I'm not going to take no shit. I mean, look at Tyler from Tyler's Tarot. Would anybody watch Tyler if Tyler didn't fully embrace his Ariesness? No. Everybody watches Tyler because everybody loves how fiery he is. And if you do nothing else, go watch the first 4 minutes of his Halloween All Signs special. It's worth it. Totally worth it. Correct. Yeah, man, I don't know. I find him very funny. I find him very, very funny. Let's get some magic out here today. All right. We got the sun. The sun, golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. And we got on target. Follow your ideal life path. I just get a real strong sense. I love how the sun card looks like a target. And the target card has the triangle and everything else, right? There's definitely a constant calling of following your own life path and not forgetting what it is that you're doing, right? You're here to bring that sun energy and to inspire and spark people. You are a light worker or a light warrior, here to do that. Stay on target with your path. Don't lose sight of what it is you are working for. Don't lose sight of your dreams and everything else. Don't lose yourself in another person. Anyone who truly loves you would never expect you to give up your dreams for them, right? It was one of the very big things that hurt me with my second, and made me really realize with my second husband that he didn't genuinely support my dreams, and it was, I had managed to build and do my own thing here for a while, and I made not much, but I made enough of a profit to keep myself rolling, which is the goal when you initially start. What make enough money to keep your business moving so that your business can grow to the point where it makes more money than it needs to survive. And I was doing that. And I was told when I was given money to go pay bills, make sure you don't spend any of that on your shit. And now, up until that point, I had not spent any of their money on my shit, right? Everything I had done, I had started on with donations in the Silver Cord with my coven members, and I had built on straight from donations and started building on that. But when he said that to me is when I realized it wasn't real. He didn't care about any of it. It didn't matter how much it mattered to me. He was happy. He would let it crash and burn. He was not going to help me with it at all. He didn't care. It had nothing to do with him. And that hurt me very deeply because it was a very spiritual and enlightening journey for me. And the fact that it had nothing to do with them is exactly why frequency shift, frequency change. Right? That's it. That's all relationships. If you got one or two ways you can go with it to stay together in a relationship. You can stay on the same frequency with the person, or if one person starts to evolve, you either rise to meet them. If one person starts to lower, you're going to lower yourself to meet them. These are decisions you have to make. What is the price? What is the price of love? Because I say this all the time to people, and it's my biggest thing. The most toxic programming for love ever created is how much you suffer. Oh, I want to ride or die to go through the bad times with me. Be mindful. Toxic, narcissistic people with bad habits insist that you go through the hard times with them, and then it doesn't take very long to realize it's always hard times with them. Like, that's all they have to offer. Don't be so quick to jump. Allow people to show you who they actually are before you leap into relationships with you or with them, right? Love at first sight, connections, things like that. Yes, that's all beautiful. Passion is beautiful and wonderful. But be mindful of these people who paint these fairy tales. This is 100% the Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords energy that we got going on right now, right here. You bump into somebody. They're absolutely perfect in all kinds of ways, but they have a whole bunch of horrible toxic traits. Right? And they're not doing so great. They're not doing so great. They've had a fall. They've had some grand fall, right? This is great chemistry, connection, whatever, past life. You feel all this intense stuff for them, but they're not in a great position, and they have a lot of toxic traits. But they talk a very sweet game about how they used to be up on top and how they used to be great, or how they have all these grand plans to getting their shit together. And they're just looking for somebody to build with and create with. And you're just like, oh, I'm not in such a great place either. You know, well, one, that's how y'all came together. And two, you're both talking about building when you came together. If one person starts building and the other person doesn't, you're not going to stay together. That's my point. So rather than trying to come together and build with somebody, why don't you wait and just give it half a second and see if that person does anything they said they're going to do before you jump into the relationship with them? Why don't you let them prove who they are before? You know, that's the whole big thing that a lot of people talk about. The 3 months thing, that's Steve Harvey's 90-day thing. There's a reason 3 months is important. And it's because an actor playing a role will eventually forget their lines, and it usually takes up to 3 months, 90 days for the person to break character. It's for you to really get to know who they are. Okay? So, yeah, well, that was all very specific and everything for everybody else. I hope you all enjoyed that this morning. I do apologize. Like I said, I apologize for my vents again. It happens. Yeah, no. I didn't come here to be toxic positivity. I came here to do shadow work through hard shit. A lot of like the venting and things like that. That simply was just me mirroring an energy back at a person to show them what they've done. I find that in those moments where I do catalytic things like that, I do go through a lot of debate on whether to take them down or not, and I chose to leave it up because, well, I don't need to explain that to y'all. I just felt the calling to leave it up. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. I love y'all so much. I am going to be back as soon as I can. I promise. All right? Y'all be good out there and take care of each other.